Let's talk about Prime Minister Narendra Modi's event-packed tour in France. The Indian Prime Minister met French President Emanuel Macron and several other world leaders who had gathered in France for the Paris AI Action Summit. The two leaders were co-chairing the summit and their camaraderie was on full display. So why are France and India collaborating here? What does India gain and what is the unique power of their relationship? Let's dive in. In many ways, this was India's moment, the push for a third wave of AI development models, independent of paths taken by the US with OpenAI and China with DeepSeek. The entire purpose of this summit is to play catch-up with the US and China while involving the global South as well. While protections and regulations remained on the agenda, the prime focus was on building AI with an optimistic bent of mind, not skepticism or fear. The entire room was in agreement that humans must harness the power of AI instead of shrugging it off. But differences remained on other matters. The joint statement was rejected by the US and the UK, most likely over the promotion of green energy, something that Trump is not bullish of at the moment. But with roughly 70% of France's electricity coming from nuclear energy, Macron has a different view.
In this world where I have a good friend in the other part of the ocean saying, drill, baby, drill. Here, there is no need to drill. It's just plug, baby, plug. Electricity is available. You can plug, it's ready.
This confluence of nations, big tech and artificial intelligence innovators is expected to invigorate a new saga of AI development led by India and France. In fact, the next AI Action Summit is going to be hosted by India. At the event, PM Modi took the opportunity to call for a democratized AI model, global guardrails governing AI, and the elimination of biases in data sets. That's right, he explains these biases here in simple language in a video that has gone viral on social media.
Let me begin with a simple experiment. If you upload your medical report to an AI app, it can explain in simple language, free of any jargon, what it means for your health.
Such biases can manifest in any form, from simple pictures to assessments of politics, which is a problem posed by all existing AI language models. What we need is balanced, neutral, and accurate information from our AI. That means deeper and meticulous training of data, which in turn requires brain power, more engineering talent that can get these coding-intensive jobs done. This is where India can help. India has a massive talent pool in the realm of AI. The current number stands at about 650,000 professionals and is expected to double down in the next 2 years. Moreover, India can drive this scientific movement at a fraction of the cost. India's AI model, launched under the India AI mission in March 2024, starts with 10,000 GPUs, with 8,693 more to be added. With a 40% government subsidy, its computational cost will be less than half of global models, which range from $2.5 to $3 per hour. So a lot of things are going in India's favor. But recent weeks of comparisons between OpenAI and DeepSeek have proved that India must enter mission mode to enter the big leagues. There's no time to waste in this AI race. Next, Modi and Macron hosted the India-France CEOs Forum. Another highlight of the night was his meeting with US Vice President J.D. Vance and his wife Usha, after which Macron and Modi traveled together to Marseille in the south of France. This is where Prime Minister Modi inaugurated a new Indian consulate and took a tour of the International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor, the ITER, as well as the Marseille port together. So this was a jam-packed visit. The geopolitics of AI has become a strategic matter for nations, and this is where France and India converge perfectly. Macron and Modi have a shared vision, a safe, democratized AI model, free of biases, and most of all, free of the geopolitics between the US and China. This brings us to an interesting place. Strategic autonomy forms the bedrock of India-France ties. France has always tried to take an autonomous direction despite being a US ally. India too has chased national interest while resisting Western pressures. And France has stood with India through thick and thin. In 1998, France was the first country with which India signed its first strategic partnership, marking the beginning of a new era. That same year, India was under tremendous pressure from the US not to go ahead with a new batch of nuclear tests. Other Western nations followed the same tune, but not France. The then President Jacques Chirac visited Delhi as the chief guest at India's Republic Day parade. In fact, come to think of it, French leaders have been chief guests on India's Republic Day for a record 6 times. After the Pokhran II tests in May that year, France refused to impose sanctions and instead doubled down on civil nuclear cooperation with India. It did a similar thing in 1974 during the first Pokhran tests, congratulating India on the achievement. That approach has continued till this day. France refuses to engage in moral grandstanding around human rights or India's ties with Russia. So it shouldn't come as a surprise that India and France are collaborating on such a strategic sector. But this is not a first. India and France collaborate deeply on defense, nuclear energy, space, and a lot more. India and France are set to seal a $10 billion defense deal for 26 Rafale marine jets and 3 Scorpion-class submarines. The contract is expected to be signed in April during the French defense minister's visit. France is also considering India's Pinaka rocket system, which could soon make India a defense exporter to France. A huge win-win. France offers defense products at competitive prices with an element of co-development, which is crucial to India as New Delhi seeks to diversify its Make in India program in defense. For example, the 2016 Rafale deal for 36 Rafale aircraft for the Indian Air Force ensures that manufacturing of Rafales is set up in India. The Scorpion submarines are also to be built in India. And when it comes to nuclear, France is working with India to build the Jaitapur power plant, which could be the most powerful in the world. In 2015, Modi and Macron launched the International Solar Alliance, headquartered in New Delhi with 121 member countries. This energy collaboration has the potential to boost the new AI chapter as well, because AI is tremendously power intensive. So in its decades-long relationship with India, France has never lost focus from the big picture. That India is ripe with economic opportunities from energy and defense to tech and space, and that India is a rising power and a formidable force in the Indo-Pacific. That's the unique power of the India-France relationship.